happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. You guys could probably already tell it is going down just by that title alone. Definitely gonna want to see this one, as we got another huge backfire coming for that supposed special counsel Jack Smith in this newest update, guys. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to spoil it on the front end. All I will say is that it is finally time that Jack Smith pays what he owes after his blatant attempts at politicizing our Department of Justice system, guys. I'm excited to get into this one, so we're not straight into it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we even get into it, you guys hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's jump straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
I'm still waiting to see how all these legal cases against the president-elect work out. Many are being dropped or just pushed off, if not entirely forgotten. Tom Dupree, the former Deputy Assistant Attorney General, on what's what and what happens now. Tom, good to see you. How many of these cases do you think, Tom, totally go away?
I think all four of them will go away, Neil. I think the federal cases are the easiest ones to predict because there, as we know, Donald Trump will fire Jack Smith on noon on January 20th, if Jack Smith is still in the position by then. I think there's a good chance that Smith himself will resign and dismiss the cases even before Trump takes office. As far as the state cases go, I think those are also going to go away. The Georgia case has been in a state of suspended animation for some time. I don't see that going anywhere soon. And the New York judge is poised to sentence Donald Trump, but I don't really see that happening, or at least kind of the way that we all contemplated it might happen now that Trump has won the election. I think the judge in New York is going to either have to impose some sort of minimal fine on Trump or simply dismiss the case entirely.
All right, you're talking about Judge Marchand, right? Now, that's the one that could have landed Donald Trump in jail, but it even seemed unlikely had he lost. So I'm wondering what comes of that, and whether just the pressure, the reality of the moment, combined to make the judge just say, all right, enough. This is not going to go anywhere.
I think there's a good chance that's exactly what he says, Neil. He's already been presented with a request that he dismiss the case entirely on grounds of presidential immunity based on the Supreme Court decision. So that road is open to him. I think another road that's open to him is to say, look, I'm going to let the conviction stand, but I'm not going to impose any sentence. There's certainly no possibility that he's going to impose a jail sentence on Trump. And I think the absolute most that he could do would be some sort of minimal fine and then just bring the case to the end. But look, the election was a game changer in all respects.
Tom Dupree exactly right in his analysis to say that, the election outcome was a total game changer for all these rogue agents, these bad actors that came after Donald Trump, throwing these political witch hunts at him. Their ultimate, goal was to get between him and that seat of the White House. And they failed miserably at it. You
can make a very credible argument to think that all of these cases and going after Donald Trump, whatever you made of them, did look like a pile-on and actually helped him get elected again to the presidency.
I think you absolutely can make that argument. I think that there are a lot of Americans, maybe even people who weren't strongly pro-Trump supporters to begin with, who saw these prosecutions play out and felt that he was getting a raw deal. And it certainly enabled Trump to have a platform. To remember, he addressed the public typically every day after the New York case. He'd come out and speak and hold press conferences. And I think he won a lot of people over, that he was being persecuted, that he was being treated unfairly. And we saw that play out on Tuesday night.
Tom, we talked about Jack Smith and whether he could be fired. Technically, I don't think he's a Justice Department employee. He was brought in to handle this case.
That's the best part of it all. They're talking about Jack Smith needs to resign, needs to step down. I'm like, what position does he truly hold? He was an illegitimate, supposed special counsel, guys, appointed by Attorney General Merrick Garland. We cannot forget his handler, the one who put him up to the job. Not only does Jack Smith need to be held accountable, we need to see some consequence, some recourse of action coming for this guy, Merrick Garland, too. Don't let him skate away, because we keep forgetting that Jack Smith didn't do this solely on his own.
I don't think he's a Justice Department employee. He's brought in to handle this case. Is it that simple to can the guy?
Well, it's simple for him to resign. In other words, Smith could either dismiss the prosecution and step down, but Trump could fire him. I think technically Trump would have to direct his new attorney general to do the firing, but he can be fired pretty much instantaneously once Trump takes office. But I don't think we're going to get there. I think Smith will be gone before January 20th.
Friend Judge Jeanine Pirro, you know what's amazing? You know him well. We've both known him for 30, whatever, many years. And you know, he was joking, but he's saying, yes, day one, for one day, I'm going to fix the border, be energy independent. Every Democrat, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, Obama, he says he's going to be a dictator. They were flat out lying, taking it out of context, but it didn't work, Judge, did it?
No, it didn't work because the American people are smarter than that. Look, the left had nothing to run on other than Donald Trump is this horrible human being. He's Hitler and he's you know, he's a fascist. But then when they started coming after the rest of us and said, well, we're MAGA extremists and we're semi-fascists and we're garbage and, you know, we're deplorable and we cling to God and guns. I do religiously and I'm thrilled. Once the American people saw through that, they knew the president was right when he said, they're really coming for you. I'm just in the way. And what the president has an opportunity to do is exactly what he did in 2016. Sean, I went back and looked at the president's acceptance speech in 2016. Do you know how much time he spent congratulating Hillary Clinton for her years of work for the American people, that we owe her a major debt of gratitude? And he went on and on. He never indicted her. He never went after her. That's not who he is. And when the left now is standing up and they're saying, we're going to resist President Trump, will you go right ahead and do that, you fools? Because this president won the popular vote. He's got a mandate from the Electoral College. And this president has an obligation, Sean, to take down those institutions that have been politicized, whether it is the FBI, the intelligence agencies, the CIA. He's got an obligation to return them to the non-political nature that they are supposed to be. And that's what America wants. They don't.
Come on now, Judge Jeanine is going in, guys. She's flat out just landed out there. She calls the balls and the strikes exactly how most folks see it. No matter what team, what side you're playing on, Judge Jeanine is going to call it straight down the middle most of the time, where she's saying Donald Trump is not even a political figure, where he's going to go after his political opponent. We seen 2016, he did not try to go after, seek any type of retribution on Hillary Clinton, even congratulating her. But now you guys have taken things a step too far, you know, saying you're going to resist Donald Trump. You know, you guys know what you did. And that's the only reason why we're getting this resist narrative now. Come on, y'all. Listen to Judge.
Agencies, the CIA. He's got an obligation to return them to the non-political nature that they are supposed to be. And that's what America wants. They don't want retribution. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, doesn't do that kind of thing. He wants success. That's why we have Elon Musk. RFK is going to make us healthy again. And Tulsi Gabbard. All of these people are about working for Americans. And I am so sick of the left and all their nonsense. And the fact that they're not as self-introspective to realize they lost because they lied. They tried to take him down politically, financially, emotionally. And they tried to kill him twice. Right. I don't know who it was. But you know what? Enough. This president has earned the right to run this country the way the American people expect him to run it.
I can't say it any better, but you're right about one thing.
What?
I would like to see the FBI return to its former greatness. I would like our American intelligence agencies to be the envy of the world, not weaponized, not politicized, no fake FISA warrants, no 51 intel officials. I want the Department of Justice. I would never want what has happened to him, abusing power the way they did and weaponizing that department
against a political opponent. You're telling me that we're focusing on inside to the point where we're looking at our presidential candidates. Like, you're not supposed to be able to do that. That's a blatant abuse of power.
I would never want what has happened to him, abusing power the way they did and weaponizing that department to ever be done to anybody ever again. That will mean that you have to clean out those agencies of these operatives that are political when they have a job to do, which is to uphold the Constitution, the rule of law. And that's all that's all I want, you want, and we know he wants.
And my understanding is everyone in the FBI who is above a GS-14 level is scared to death, as well they should be. The FBI should not be going after parents and calling them domestic terrorists. They should not be going after Catholics and pro-lifers. Their job is not to indict a president of the United States through this crossfire hurricane and lie to courts the way they did with the Jim Comey unverified affidavits. And then you've got the so-called intelligence community that lies and calls what is ultimately Exhibit 1 in a United States case against Hunter Biden. They call it Russian disinformation. They lied. We know they lied. And it's time for this president to return America back to the institutions that our founding fathers believed in.
Yo, there we have it, guys. It sounds like a lot of those rogue agents and bad actors are getting a bit squeamish. They're on edge about what's to come next. We already seen Letitia James going on a full tirade about how she's going to stand up and bug back against Donald Trump, his administration, because she knows she's guilty. You know, Jack Smith, he knows he's guilty also, and that's why by January 20th, he'll be cleaned out. Donald Trump won't have to do any firing because they already know they're at fault. What they tried to do is just unconstitutional. It's uncalled for, and we won't stand for it, guys. And that's exactly why we've seen the turnout of the election we did. You know, that red wave did not come for no reason. It came because of the amount of legal lawfare that we seen being tossed to this guy. You know, he kept on running on the message saying they're not actually after me. They're after you guys, and I'm just standing in the way. And, you know, after case after case, we, you know, began to realize more and more folks jumped on board saying, hey, they are actually persecuting this guy. And if we don't vote him in, they're going to come after us next. Guys, definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you did enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one.